Hi everybody, come on in, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here, come on in. Welcome to my 30-day Money Roadmap workshop. My name is Leah Lowenthal and I'm the founder here at Get Comfy with Money. So you've made it. I've got to tell you, me and my team are really excited that you're here. I'm really proud that you're here too. Everybody says that they're going to take action, they're going to do the work to change their mindset, but when it comes to actually showing up, there's only some people that really truly are ready to take the action necessary. That's when those with the staying power rise to the top. And this is what thinking like a millionaire starts to show you. And it all starts with you showing up. So I'm really glad that you stuck around till the end, that you kept with this, and that you're here with me today. So in today's workshop, I'm going to be walking you through my favorite tool when it comes to mapping out your game plan, and I call it the Money Roadmap. So this is a 30-day action roadmap, which I've designed after working with entrepreneurs who are all over the world in different industries and understanding that we all have our own unique skills as well as obstacles and challenges that we need to work through and overcome on our own in order for us to achieve our financial goals and freedom. Now with this, there's not that kind of one size fits all approach. So we really need to work out how to map this out together in a way that fits in and aligns with us personally. So this 30-day roadmap is allowing entrepreneurs to finally get it. It's one thing for us to think that we want to start a business or we want to be an entrepreneur, but the next step is to actually get stuff done, right? So I get to witness creative entrepreneurs make these roadmaps, stick them up on the wall, and then follow them and finally get what it is that they have to do in order to turn their businesses into profitable and sustainable ventures. Just as exciting, at the end of this workshop, I'm also going to be showing you how you can get access to my tools. So the actual tools, the actual things I use in my business day to day, so I can break down for you what I used in my own business at the early stages to get better with and also make more money. Because ultimately that's all what we want, right? So I'm going to show you how you can gain the knowledge that you need in the foundations of financial independence. We're going to be looking at how you can budget effectively in a way that's going to increase your earnings and empower you to be more mindful when it comes to your spending, your savings, and your investments. We're going to be exploring your self-worth, and we're going to be looking at how you can attract the type of clients that you actually want to work with. And we're going to look at how you can automate everything so you can do this in a sustainable way so you can still have that work-life balance that I know that you've been working towards for a long time. It's not all about working a lot or hustling or grinding to get what it is that you really want. So we want to achieve that balance. So by the end of this session, you're going to have complete clarity and complete confidence and a plan of attack. So you're going to have your own step-by-step personalized plan to figure out how you can get better with money, how you can start making more money, and how you can manage it really, really well. At the end, I'm also going to be gifting you something really special, so stick around to find out what that is, as it's only available for very serious getters who are around until the end of the workshop today. So, there's a few little housekeeping things I just want to go through with you first. So my team here, they're going to be live in the Q&A. So that means they can answer any questions that you have throughout the whole workshop. So please do ask those questions, big or small. I want this to be as interactive as possible. So I'm also going to be asking some questions of you as well throughout. And I'd love for you to answer them in the chat box too. Now you might be wondering what the catch is here. Why have I done this whole thing for free? And it's a really good question. The truth is that there are two main reasons. The first one, in case you haven't realized already, that this is my passion. Talking about money is my passion. Understanding how you can make more, how you can manage what you have really well is something that is in my DNA. It's something that I'm really, really passionate about. And it's not something that I was just born with or something that was there. It's something I've really grown to love. So as mentioned, I've helped clients work worldwide with their relationships with money and building their businesses. So anytime I get to teach creative entrepreneurs how to work with their talents and finally feel more comfortable with money, that's what I live for. This is the thing that brings me joy each day. The second reason is at the end of the workshop, I'm going to be offering a small group of entrepreneurs an opportunity to work with me longer. So that's if you really want more guidance. So please note that that part is completely optional and you're free to leave with all of this hard-won money-making advice that I've learned over the past decade without investing in anything. So there are people that are going to be joining literally all over the world. I've been looking through the chat. I know you're tuning in from different time zones, which is awesome. So some advice I'd love to give if possible, no matter where you are, make sure that you're comfortable, that you're in a place that's probably a little bit quieter if possible, so you won't be disturbed. And that's going to help you get really serious with your plan. We're going to be working on a very serious plan today. So today, to start with, I want to know where you're joining from. Where in the world are you joining from? Why are you here? What is it that's brought you here today? And what is it that you're hoping to get out of it? Right, so let's get going with our 30-day game plan, our money roadmap. I'm so excited. I'm going to be working off my iPad today, and I'm going to be sharing a few things on the screen so that you can see up close what I'm looking at. I'm also going to be drawing my own roadmap, so please excuse my handwriting. I'll do my best to make it as neat and pretty as possible. So can you see the screen if I do this? Okay, let's get going. All right, guys, so let's dive in. I'm super excited to get started. So we are looking at the money roadmap. So my goal at the end is for you to have a beautifully filled in version of this for yourself. So we're going to break it down into actionable steps. To start with, we're going to begin on where you want to be. So I want you to have a think. First of all, just more fluidly, and then we're going to put it into a sentence. So just take a moment and write down where you want to be. So I want you to think about at the end of this 30-day challenge, at this end of this 30-day action plan that you're making right now, where is it that you want to be? What do you want to have achieved? What is the end goal here? What are you actually going to set up and have in place so that when you get to the end of the month, you're going to feel really confident and excited to continue on with whatever venture you're working on? So I want you to think about that and also put it in the comment section as well, actually. So if you wouldn't mind sharing it, my team members would love to hear more live from you now, what it is that you're actually working on. What's your end goal? And once you've worked out where you want to be, write that in a sentence. So if I was in this, I would say you're where you want to be. So is it that you are wanting to launch? Have you got a product and you want to get it up and running in the next 30 days and you want to be ready to launch? Are you looking at selling? So are you trying to hit a specific target? So do you need to put a marketing plan in place so that you're ready to hit that target? Are you looking to just like have an initiated thought, have something in mind that is a talent or an idea at this point that you want it to be a business? Do you just want to get to the point where you actually know what it is that you want to be working on? Whatever your goal, write that one down. So what we're doing next is we're going to be mapping out just our point A to B. Okay, so at the point B, we're going to be writing down where it is that you want to be. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to focus on is where you are now. So it's all very well and good having something that we're focusing on, but where do we want to go now? Is this a realistic expectation for us to try and get to our point B when we don't even know where we're at for point A? So where are you now? Are you already a business owner? Do you just have an idea? Are you ready to launch? Have you already launched and you have a successful business? Are you just wanting to hit the next target or create the next product? Where is it that you actually are and where now at this point today? And I'd love it if you could share that in the comments as well. So just let me know where you're at. What level are you at currently? So you can just write at idea stage, at launch stage, or ready to up level. All right, great. So the next part is we want to break down our journey from our point A to our point B. So what we want to do is write a list. Like this is a brain dump. So I want you to write down all of the things in your mind, in your plans. You may have already written these down somewhere on a list. Just write down everything that you believe needs to get done in order for you to get where you need to get. And again, this is just about the next 30 days. So this isn't your full overall business. This is just where you need to be at the end of this month, at the end of the 30 days. So this could be that you need to start outlining your course if you're creating a new course, or maybe you're writing a piece of music. Write this down. What is it that you need to do to actually get that piece of art or that project out and down on paper? Who do you need to have involved in this process? So are there people that you need to talk to? Are there people you need to book meetings in with? Is there going to be customers involved already during this month? Are there going to be people that you're going to need to be talking to? Are you going to have to book consult sessions or appointments so that you can actually sell your products? And what other things do you need to get done? Do you need to do a budget? Do you need to have any phone calls with people? Do you need to, whatever it might be. Just think of all of those little jobs that you know that need to be done. And is there research that needs doing? If so, how? Are there things you need to invest in? Are there courses you need to be part of? What are all of the nitty-gritty details of that? And I'd love you to share your top one. Like if there's one in particular that you think is a block or is going to be difficult, please share that in the group. Please share that in the comment section, because I'd love to hear what we think are going to be struggles during this first 30 days of action. Because when we acknowledge it, when you put it out there and you already know it's potentially coming, it's going to be a lot easier to tackle it when you get there. Great. So we have a clear list here. We know where we are. We know where we want to be, and we know all of the things that we need to tackle, that we need to get through to get there. I always say the only thing between us and our dreams is logistics. So let's get all those logistics on paper so we can realistically see what's actually stopping us from getting there. All right, great. So the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to categorize those different tasks that we've just put on our list into 4 distinct categories. So we're going to be breaking them up into stages. So what I want you to do is draw yourself across, and then up in the top left corner, I want you to write initiate. And then in the top right, I want you to write collaborate. In the bottom left, I want you to write organize. And the bottom left that was, and the bottom right, I want you to write evaluate. So now going through your list that you've created, I want you to think about which activities would fit into these different categories. So first of all, let's look at initiate. So initiate is all to do with starting. This is like the spring of your project or your venture. So this is the part where we're getting that garden bed ready and we're starting to plant our ideas. We're starting to water them and nurture them. So every new project needs a beginning. So this is our initiation stage. So you may find that tasks that need doing to do with initiate are creating content. So you might need to be writing or recording or making or designing. You may be making a structure. So you might need to create a spreadsheet that has your project tasks in. You might need to be thinking about marketing, thinking about where you're going with this. You might be developing. So those are the types of words I'm thinking of in initiate. So look at your list and look at all of the words that kind of seem like they would fit into the initiate. Anything you're starting out is brand new and fresh and needs to kind of be going from your brain down onto paper. The next section is collaborate. So think of this phase as summer. So this is where you have your ideas and it's starting to be time to grow them. So we spend a lot of time in initiate sometimes because we're scared to let other people in. And I don't want this for you. I don't want you to have all these ideas now out of your head and on paper and then not going anywhere. So collaboration is about sharing. It is about asking for feedback, and it's about being open and ready to receive that feedback. And it can be scary because we sometimes feel worried or that we're going to be judged by other people or that our ideas aren't good enough. So it's time to kind of embrace those potential feelings that are going to come up and do it anyway. So we're looking here at ways to start growing our ideas. So in this section, I want you to think about sharing. So there's 2 parts really. There's the feedback that you need potentially from other people who are going to be working with you to help you with your ideas. And then there's the other side, which is offering or inviting people in who are going to be potentially your customers or your clients. So during collaborate, this might be tasks on your list that are, maybe you need to hire somebody to help you with your project. Maybe you need to hire a designer or a videographer or someone who's good with numbers. Maybe you need to network. Maybe you're looking to increase the amount of customers that you need to book in and talk to. So this is when you're going to be having those conversations. Maybe you have done some market research and you know who your customers are, and you want to ask them for feedback. You want to know what they want, whether this is the type of product that they think would work for them. So this is really about bringing other people in and generating those conversations. So just highlight all of those tasks on your list that you think will fit into this collaboration part of the process. Next is organizing. So this one's quite a big one, but it's also usually built up from lots of little bitty tasks. So these might seem like there's a big list, but they will ultimately end up probably taking a little bit less time, all of the small individual items. So think of this phase, I like to think of it kind of like autumn. So it's about reaping all of the benefits of that part of the season. So if initiate is spring, we've built our ideas, we've planted our ideas, and then collaborate. It's been summer, they've started to grow. Organize is ticking them off, getting them done, getting them finished, collecting, finishing it all off. So this is like my get it done section. So think of all of the tasks that you need to get ticked off your list. It could be, you may need to ring the bank to set up a new bank account. You might need to set up a portal if you're trying to create a place that some of your work exists, or maybe you need to schedule your posts for social media content. So those types of tasks that are almost a little bit more menial and don't require quite as much thought, but you know that they need to get done. So that's everything to do with organizing. And then lastly is evaluate. So I like to think of evaluate as winter. So this is the time where we are in rest and restoration. We are getting feedback from ourselves, evaluating what we've done, seeing what went well, seeing maybe what didn't go well. We might be checking the numbers, looking at our sales figures. If you're wanting to see what you need to research further for next time, this is what would be fitting under that evaluate section. So we're writing all of those down, and what I'd love in the comment section, if you would share your top initiate task with us. I'd love to hear more about what you need to initiate, what the things are that you're going to be starting with. Your top collaboration task, so what it is that you're going to be outreaching to someone. Are you asking for feedback? Are you inviting someone to work with you? What about your organize section? What's like probably the most annoying task that you have to get done that's on that organize part? And evaluate. What do you think you need to do at the end of all of that to make sure that you've got that kind of idea planted and that idea ready to go? So this is our 30 days, guys. This is what we want to achieve in 30 days. So if there's anything on that list that is going to take longer than 30 days or won't be achievable because let's face it, you've probably got a busy life and you've got other things that you need to do this month too, tick them off, like cross them off that list, because if it's too big and scary and if it's too hard to achieve, then we're going to just feel like we've procrastinated or we're going to feel like we failed, and we don't want that. We want to make sure this is actually inspiring us to work more and get more done. So once you've got those all outlined, we are then going to move on to our amazing money roadmap. So I want you to fill this in. I want you to add in the bottom where you want to be. So what's that sentence you wrote? Where you are now up the top left. So this is where you are right now. What is it that we're starting point? What is our starting point? And add start date and end date as well. So put your start date as today and put your end date as 30 days from now. So we've got a very clear picture of where we are, where we want to be, and when that needs to happen by. And next, under each goal, so goal 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want you to add the 4 titles of those different stages. So goal 1 is going to be initiate. So are there 1 or 2 key things that you need to get done this month that you can add in there as the goals? Same for goal 2. What are your top collaboration assignments that you need to get done this month? And same with goal 3. What do you need to organize? And goal 4, what do you need to evaluate? Great. So we have a really good base here of everything you need ready to achieve what we need at the end of this 30 days. So what's next? We're going to now tackle some of the potential obstacles and challenges that could come up from us working through our goals. So obstacles, I want you to think of those as external barriers. So things outside yourself that could prevent or limit you from actually being able to take action. So good examples would be money. So financially, are you able to achieve some of the things that you have on your list? Do you have the finances to actually manage that? Another one might be time. So we want to make sure that these are realistic plans. So do you have enough time to achieve everything that's within your goal? And if you think it's a potential issue, just note it down there. So under obstacle, you're going to put time. So you're acknowledging that you're going to have to put time aside and maybe think about how much time you're going to need to put aside to actually achieve it. And challenges are more internal blocks. So I want you to think about things inside yourself that may be preventing you from jumping from each goal and being able to achieve what you want within the next month. So challenge could be that you're a perfectionist. That's one I always go to because I'm a perfectionist. So I may want my work to look immaculate and perfect, and it might not be possible in 30 days for me to have that complete finished project. So if that's the case, I need to operate more from an idea of imperfect action. So I want to at least get it done. It doesn't have to be the perfect, polished, finished piece. And if I've got that in mind, if I know perfectionism is going to stand in my way, I'm at least going to be aware of that. Other things that may get in your way are maybe you're nervous or you're worried about judgment. So with the collaboration tasks that you're going to be completing, are you nervous to tell people about your idea? Are you worried about what other people might think? That could be a challenge that's coming up. So just note for each of those goals what your potential key obstacle and challenges for each of those different phases. So that's one for initiate, one for collaborate, one for organize, and one for evaluate. And if there's one in particular that you think is sticking out the most, that's the most hard hitting or worrying, maybe you're thinking that you may procrastinate. I think a lot of us feel like we procrastinate when we have a whole bunch of things we want to get done and we don't achieve them. If it's procrastination, if it's perfectionism, if it's stress or anxiety or worry or whatever it might be, just write that down in the comment section now, because vocalizing it is the first stage to just understanding your resistance, understanding your limitations, and knowing that you can still get through it and do it anyway. I usually say the best way to get through all of these feelings is by action. So by default, doing things is going to stop your brain having any time to actually worry about whether you're getting things done. All right, wonderful. And now to finish up, what we need to do is make sure that we are acknowledging and celebrating what we've done. So as you'll see in the money roadmap in the middle here, we have our reward section. So there's two parts. One is that we need to identify a milestone, and two is we need to figure out how we're going to reward ourselves for reaching that milestone. So if this was my money roadmap and my goal, say, was to launch a new product, what is my milestone? How am I going to know that I'm on my way to getting there? And how am I going to then celebrate that? So for me, I usually get stuck between the initiate and collaborate phase. So I've got an idea and I put it down on paper. So I always like to celebrate myself, or like treat myself after initiating it. So if I have an idea and I've put all my content down on paper and I feel like I've actually put the idea there and I'm ready to then take it to the next stage of turning it into something, that to me is a point of massive celebration, because it means it's no longer an idea swimming around in my head. So I would choose that as my milestone. And then how am I going to celebrate? So think about what makes you feel good. It could be a big or a small celebration. So for me, I love massages. So maybe I'd treat myself to a massage at that point. Or maybe you just want to get a takeaway, or you may want to just give yourself some self-care time. You want to take a bath, or you want to have an hour off, or you want to buy a book. Or it doesn't have to be high value. It doesn't have to be any value. It could just be giving yourself time, or just some moment where you can sit there and actually acknowledge that you've made progress and you're not still at the position you were at the beginning of those 30 days. And there you have it. That is your money roadmap. You've got to acknowledge that everything is within your reach. It's got to be, in order for it to generate change and make you get where you want to get, you've got to understand that you are capable. And I 100% believe that you're capable of getting where you want to get within the next 30 days, as long as you're realistic and you've set yourself up to succeed. So how have you enjoyed today's workshop so far? I've just shown you your 30-day action roadmap.